Okay, so I have been banned on Facebook again for a really stupid reason, and a certain group likes to show its dominance by basically censoring anyone who does not agree with their religion and extreme right wing views. So now for 30 days, because I've been shadow banned by assholes who didn't like me, where they follow me around and they look for any remote possible offensive thing that I might say just so they can report me and get me banned. Now, in the name of hate speech, I'm being silenced. My free right to speech is being silenced. I was on an atheist group again, and I'm going to show the message because I want this video to go viral. I am sick and tired of Facebook censoring atheists and anyone who's not a Christian and banning us. I was on an atheist group when I made this comment. Do I have no free space to say how frustrated I am to fellow non believers about how this Christian judge is forcing her faith on the American people, and so are her other Christian judges? And is it really much of a stretch to believe that religious bigots shouldn't be allowed to run for office? I said that out of frustration because um I'm tired of religious people controlling us. I'm tired of being censored. I'm tired of terms and agreements where we have to constantly pathologically be concerned about what we say without being demonetized or banned or whatever. It just drives me batshit insane. This censorship is illegal. It's unconstitutional, and we need to pack the courts with extreme pro speech Supreme Court judges that are more left wing. I know Biden wants to be right wing, but he needs real progressives in there. Is this man just going to die screwing the country as much as he can? He's almost dead. The least he can do is pack the courts with somewhat progressive judges who will stop Facebook and Twitter from banning everyone they don't like, because they've become a public platform, a place of free speech. And when they use these terms and conditions to look for excuses to ban us constantly, it results in violating our free speech. They shouldn't be allowed to write in the terms and conditions that they can demonetize us or ban us because they don't agree with us, or especially on hate speech. I am like very, very liberal. Anyone who knows me, I refuse to say racial slurs. I'm judgmental of religious people because of this shit. Obviously, a Christian reported me because they didn't like what I said on an atheist group. In fact, I forgot. I was going to show the picture and I completely forgot. So this is, I don't know if you can see this. It's, well, anyhow, I'll just read it because it looks like it's just coming up bright. I just said, effing goddamn Christians should not be allowed to run for anything in government because they force their faith on everyone else. The stupid bitch Amy and Trump's other judges should be nullified along with his entire presidency. That is a political opinion. I posted this on an atheist group site where I thought I was among other people who felt the same way, because part of communication is we say these hostile things to people who feel the same way we do. So, what is a Christian doing in an atheist group? Because someone had to have reported me, and this was put specifically in an atheist group where I thought I was safe, and then I'm banned for 30 days. Um, you know, even if someone uses a bunch of racial slurs and sexist bullshit and toxic masculinity and all the kind of things I hate personally, I'm going to argue and I will fight for their free right to speech. I will even let Nazis speak, and I hate Nazis. It is a polar opposite to what I believe in as a libertarian socialist. I totally opposed to fascism. I find it disgusting and inhumane, and I'm just abhorred. When I was Christian, they used to tell us we're always going to be persecuted. They're going to try and keep you silent, and they're gonna they're gonna ban you from these groups and blah blah blah. And when I was brainwashed by right wing Christian dogma, which drug me into identity politics, which I can understand the kind of hypnotic hell identity politics can get people in. And you've got to focus on policy, people. And if you let your religion dictate your political views, then you have a problem because the problem with being religious a lot of times is you try to make your religious laws the laws of the land, and you think your God wants that or he's going to punish you, but no, there's no evidence of a God. And if you believe in God, that's fine. I don't care. I mean, as long as you're like respectful of other people, be respectful and open-minded. But what has atheists so angry is this constant censorship and worrying about what we have to say around these people without having our rights taken away from us. I used to be Christian, and it made me think a lot of crazy shit that just made me stupid. And religion can stunt your intelligence. And I'm not saying if you're religious, it's stunting your intelligence. I'm saying if you let religion be your only guide in life and you just follow it to such extremes like I once did, it will put blinders on you, make you myopic, and follow a draconian system where you will twist logic and you will actually start to really undo your own moral code when you start trying to justify absolutely everything about a religious doctrine. You know, when it comes to religion, fine. I don't care what you believe. I will fight for someone's right to believe in whatever they want to believe in. I'm a member of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. And raw man to you, my fellow Pastafarians who might be watching. Um, and we're a non-faith based religion where we basically want to teach evolution in schools because that's science. It is a theory, but so is the theory of gravity. And look how well established we are with the theory of gravity. That's how it is with the theory of evolution. It is science. And it's largely a theory because becoming a law is extremely difficult in science. It has to be excruciatingly overly proven. And the theory of evolution, though, is sound science. And, you know, I don't care if you want to believe that some benevolent being created everything, that's fine. But don't go to the schools and try and push your religious dogma on them. I mean, I admit, I'm ashamed to admit, I kind of did this in college to my professors because I was at a bad place in my life, and I committed identity suicide, as I like to say, where you just completely abandon who you are as a person because you can't stand yourself, and you idolize this being like Jesus Christ, and you try to be exactly like him, and it's like that's so not right to just kill someone's identity like that, to commit identity suicide and destroy who you are as a human being and just try to be a factory model. And, I think I was so miserable and snapping and constantly. Oh, I'm pretty pessimistic, but religion made me extremely pessimistic because it's constantly, we're in the end times, we're in the end times. And it's a mentality of let's just give up and pray that our God won't send us to hell. And when you laser focused on the idea that they transcribe, these churches will describe hell in such brutish, draconian ways of cruelty and brutality lasting for eternity. You so are laser focused on that fear. And that's how I was for so long. You're afraid to question your religion. And I hated the religion I was in. Um, I hated the religion I was in. I didn't want there to be a God because I felt like I had a gun to my head. I either believe and do all these things and be something I don't feel is me, or I burn in hell. And it took me a long time for the rationale and logic behind. There's over 4,200 religions, and there's no concrete proof of any of them. It's none. You know, Nothing. And I'm not saying I know absolutely all things, but when it comes to man made religion, I just can't believe that humans have discovered an ultimate truth of all existence because I think we are so far beyond that potential that all we can do, I mean, to me, a real religion to follow is like ideology. Like I like the Satanic Temple's ideology of be a good person. They don't believe in the devil. They don't worship the devil. They don't sell their souls. They don't embrace evil. They basically say be a good person. Don't be afraid to enjoy life. A woman has a right to choose, and that is right. They are very big advocates for women's rights to their own bodies, and we have tenets guidelines. All it's another group I belong to that basically say be a good person but enjoy life as long as you're not hurting anyone else. We're basically the polar opposite of the Satanic Church, and it's more of a philosophy of the romanticization of Satan as being the the romantic tyrant and rebel, and he's like cast out of heaven for wanting his individuality and not having to worship a tyrant god. And it's also the argument that religion doesn't have to be something you accept on faith, but could be more guidelines and a philosophy to go by. And I used to always think that religion meant you believed in something like a god or something that couldn't be proven, that had to be based on faith. But then I came to realize, I lost my train of thought, but that's not the case. A religion a religion can be based mm, on a philosophy, like the flying spaghetti monster advocates, like just because you believe something and something conveniently happens in a certain time doesn't mean your end argument is accurate, such as according to the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, um, since there's less pirates in the world, there's global warming. And it's like back when there were more pirates, global warming wasn't happening. But incidentally, since there's less pirates, global warming happened. And this is a logic a lot of religions follow, is basically they put these two and two things together as if they're related, but they're not. They're not related. Um, I lost my train of thought. It's just coincidental, is a good way to put it. Uh, so the Church of the Fly, it's what it is piracy kind of came to an end around the beginning of the industrial age, in which global warming then started getting aggravated as we. I have to stop this. Wait. I'm going to go now. I have to deal with some issues.